Alright, here is yet another example of a 5D process. We're going to use number 65 from your book. And so let me read it to you. Now, since I have this on a PDF, I'm going to highlight some things as I go, whatever I think is important. That's part of my describe. The parent club at Post Falls Middle School needs 183 feet of fencing. So whenever I think of fencing, my mind goes to, oh, maybe that has to do with perimeter, because I'm going on the outside. To go around the rectangular outdoor basketball court behind the school gym. A lot of words, but I don't necessarily need any of that information. They will only need to place the fence on 3 sides, because the wall of the gym will form the fourth side. The length of the court is 32 feet more than the width. That should say 1. One of the shorter sides will be 5 feet shorter than the other one to leave room for a gate. How much fencing will be used on each side of the court? I'm going to also draw a picture here because I think that might be helpful. So I have this basketball court, right? Okay, let's say this side is no fencing because that's the wall. And this can be my length, this can be my width, and it tells me that the length is 32 feet more than the width. So if I knew what the width was, I could figure out the length. So I'm just going to say, okay, let's let the width be W, and then the length is whatever that is, plus 32. And then one of the shorter sides, so I'm going to pick one of the 2 widths, is going to be 5 feet shorter than the other one for a gate. So here's my gate, so I don't need a fence there. So whatever the width was, I'm going to subtract 5 because it's 5 feet shorter. Alright, so let's go fill out my table. So the guess, remember, the guess is the thing that if I knew this, I could figure out the others. Well, if I knew what the width was, so let's just write width in here, I could figure out everything else. And I'm going to say, I am going to guess it, and let's make that guess W, okay? And then I need the length, and I need the other short side. So I'm going to need 2 more columns, so let's separate this. And one of those columns is going to be for the length, and the other one is going to be for the other side, the one with the gate. Okay, so the length is the width plus 32. Now guess what? I'm writing an expression because I'm just using W for width. You can use an X if you want, but so W is just standing for the width, and then if I have the width plus 32, that's an expression. And then the other side was whatever the width was, and it was 5 feet shorter, so the width minus 5. Writing expressions here, guys. Really, writing an expression, I'm just abbreviating width, that's all. And then to do, I need to find the perimeter, but remember it's the perimeter of only the 3 sides. So it's going to be the width plus the length, but the length is really W plus 32, remember? Plus, the other side is W minus 5. And to decide if it's right, we need 183 feet of fencing altogether. Okay. Now, since we've been combining like terms and you've been simplifying expressions, let's go ahead and simplify this. So I've got a W, and a W. So altogether we have 3 W's. And then I have a plus 32 and a minus 5. So that simplifies to a plus 27. Okay, so let's forget trial 1 here. There's my table. Now I just need to get started. So I'm going to guess. Let's start with 50 because that's a nice pretty number. So if 50 was my width, my length is going to be 50 plus 32, which is 82. And my other side would have been my width, which is 50, minus 5, which is 45. And so then the perimeter really ends up being, I could use 3 times 50 plus 27, or I know I'm just adding the 3 sides. So I've got 50 plus 82 plus 45, and that ends up being 177. that is too low. I'm not too far off though, but I know it's too low, so I'm going to pick a bigger number. Let's go with 60. So if my width was 60, my length would be 60 plus 32 is going to be 92. And if my width was 60, 60 minus 5 is 55. Finding the perimeter, I can do 60 plus 92 plus 55. And when I add those together, this time I get 207. Now that's too high. So I need something in between. So let's go with 54, because I feel like it was a little bit closer to 50. All right, so remember, these were wrong, but even though they're wrong, they're good information. So if I go to 54, my length would be the width, 54 plus 32, which is 86. And then my other side would have been 54 minus 5, which is 49. Notice I'm showing my work in here. You can use a calculator if you want, but you need to show what you're putting in here. And then the perimeter would be 54 plus 86 plus 49. And when I add those together, I get 189. Too high. So let's go with 52, because I know it's between 50 and 54 now. So if the width was 52, the length would be 52 plus 32. So that would be 84. My other width would have been 52 minus 5, which is 47. And if I add 52 plus 84 plus 47, hey, I get it this time. So there it is. I got it now. If you don't happen to get it in the 5th trial, that's okay. Just keep working. So if I go back, the final question here it wanted me to ask was how much fencing will be used on each side. So I'm just going to say the length is 84 feet. The width is 52 feet, and I know this because I'm just looking at my headings. And the shorter side is 47 feet.